Your boyfriend is probably correct. I'm probably hotter than you are. You know, it's like a car race.
Okay.
Like, I don't know how to explain it.
It's fine, I get it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but it has nothing to do with Formula 1. Okay, so they only go left like Zeus. Why is going left like Zeus?
Do you know a Zigzag
Usual.
McQueen?
Hmm?
Zigzag McQueen, do you know?
No. No?
You don't know Zigzag McQueen?
You mean Lightning
What-
McQueen?
What is this?
Oh, yeah, the lightning.
What
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
what is Zigzag McQueen? What?
O kurwa, moje plecy.
Yeah, it's Lightning McQueen, not
Yeah,
Zigzag.
it's probably she's not Zigzag. Tomeczek.
Alright, take care. Bye. No? What? Was she offline? I'm so confused. Did I use the wrong one? Uh-oh. Did I? I'm so confused. Are we still here? Okay, well. Oh, she's raiding me? Oh my gosh. We just went the other. Oh my god, reverse raid. Oh, this is hilarious. Okay, I guess we're back. Okay, this is so funny. Hi, Ginny. Thank you so much for the raid, first of all. I'm at like the WSOP, so I guess we're gonna continue this stream and show you guys around Vegas. I just finished playing my poker tournament. Hi, everyone. My name's Nemo. I'm like a professional, well, competitive chess player and now turned competitive poker player. So I tried raiding Ginny just about now. Oh, this chess. Checkers, I guess. Checkers. It's a.
So here's what's crazy. I don't know if you've heard of this. There's actually a strategy
Okay.
that you can win in 3 turns, and almost nobody knows it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I love it. What is
I
it?
would love to see this pull
You
off
move
right
the you move the pawn first.
Pawn. Okay.
Nobody will ever see this coming.
Okay, pawn.
I forgot the other 2 moves, but I know you move the pawn first. I think you do something with a queen and something with a bishop.
Okay, queen.
Yeah. They'll never see it coming. And now you take the bishop and you do something with it.
I mean, I'm running out of places to put the bishop, but I can put it here.
Okay.
Okay, it's fine. This guy's only 400.
So now you take your.
If everything works out this summer, right? As like Krechik and I don't kill each other and find out we really hate each other in real life, we're going to do like we're hopefully going to see each other more often. Like, you know what I mean? Like if we like as long as we don't hate each other, like I don't see why I'm not gonna go back to Poland like a little bit more frequently. So don't worry. I'll make sure I friend zone him on chess.com. Don't even sweat it. I'll make sure he gets friend zone in front of 50k people. Yeah, it's friend zone Friday. Like I literally, okay, do you guys know the story? So the other day I was just streaming. I was doing like a thing with my friends, right? And like I was just wanting to tell my friend about how
for stream.
the stream hear it? My
Alright,
mic
can you
never
hear
picks
this?
that up.
Come on.
Alright, do you decorate for Christmas? Do you guys decorate?
I got a tree today. I thought I wasn't,
So you are
but we
also-
finally did.
Okay, this is just a good one, and I
Yeah.
want to. No, I'm gonna save it for later.
What is it?
I'll save it. They were coming up with more ideas that I just saw.
Oh no.
I don't trust these ideas. I'm down,
it's
but
a
I
question
trust
for
nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down to play with Cred Chick. It's on him, though. What time I'll play with Hikaru? It'll be at 3 p.m. EST, so 9 p.m. One on my forehead. Do you see this one on my forehead? Hello. hello. So like I have like pores on my forehead. Oh my god, this is way too close up. Hello, guys, go check. Okay, but like I have pores on my forehead. Extreme zoom activated. Yeah, hello. I'm just staring into your soul now. But there are pores on my forehead, and no girls ever look at you. What's up, chat? How's it going? But yeah, basically, like, I mean, obviously, if you zoom in, you can notice stuff. But like, for example, this thing is here. Goodbye. See?
How are you? Are you Korean?
Alright, we're gonna just not engage with strangers. Bertosz looks so wholesome. Is he wholesome? I never understand what he says in Polish, so I have no idea if he's a wholesome streamer or not. But he gives me very wholesome vibes. He is hot. This song slaps. What the heck? Yo, you guys actually need to pop up more often. Bro, where can we get some more of this kind of energy in the chat? Like, my NA viewers don't have this kind of energy. But Polish viewers, man, are built different.
Chcę kurwa bana! Mnie zbanuć, napiszę kurwa słowo retard, kok i kurwa cancer. I chcę dostać kurwa bana! Zreportuj mnie,
Can you even type it correctly?
pierdolona zjebana!
Oh, Jebak Disa? Is it like a...
You're 5'7"?
I'm 5'6". Let's go with 5'6".
If you're 5'6", she's like 5'4".
Okay. Okay, we accept that.
Yeah.
We accept that.
Take that.
Yeah. Alright, do they make you run faster? I don't think they're gonna make you run faster. I don't think that's what these are designed for, but they're designed to be comfortable. And that's more important anyways, right?
Yes.
Comfort. Yeah.
Unless you're in like elementary school. In elementary
Wino, wino, wypito na. Krótkie wino, każdy zna. Wino, wino, pomoże ci. Wina, wina, nalej mi. Slip. Okay, look. Holy shit, this is actually so hard. What the fuck? All right, hello everyone. Hope you guys are all doing great today. Hello. It is going to be a lovely Sunday of streaming. We're going to start out with some chess today, which is going to be absolutely crazy. So I hope you guys are all super duper excited. Because we do have the candidates going on, and today is going to be the very first day. We have some exciting matches. So thank you so much. Oh, we have a sub, our first prime for the day. Thank you so much, Equinox, for the prime. Welcome back to your 11th month. Good morning, everyone. If you're in on the Pacific coast, it is a real good morning, and that's rare, I feel like, for our stream. If you're in Europe, well, good evening, and also good super evening for everybody in Asia. But yeah, this should be a lot of fun. So hi guys, thank you so much for joining us. We haven't done a tournament watch party, I feel like, in a little bit. Obviously my own tournaments do not count. But it's night. Well, good night. Good evening. Good evening. So, we have the candidates today, which is going to be really, 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 really exciting. We are going to be, mostly responding to Twitch messaging, so if you want to join us and comment and put in your own predictions and stuff, please do feel free to come join us on Twitch, because it's just easier for me to read off of one site. One webpage. But yeah, hopefully this will be a fun day for all of us here. And I also want to present to you guys XDAM, which I think is gonna be really fun. We're gonna be doing a couple of community activities. So I mean, right now this position is like fairly equal between Fabi and Hikaru. Obviously, they're not the only people playing, and the winner of this entire 3-4 week tournament thingamajiggy culminates in somebody being able to challenge Gukesh to the World Chess Champion title. So yeah, it'll be really, really cool. So let me get started on that. We already have one draw, Matthias versus Blue Bomb. It was a draw. I don't even really know if we need to go and look at the game. It looks like they've reached 30 moves, and we're like, all right, day's done. Thanks. Give me my check. But yeah, they're both at almost 99% accuracy, which is really cool. So one of the things, sorry, it's Blue Bomb versus Wei. Blue Bomb versus Wei. I do this all the time. I constantly do like Magnus versus Carlsen. So basically, what I want to show you guys is XTAM. First of all, hands up in the chat if you think Nakamura is gonna win. I'm not gonna show what this prediction model says yet. If you were on the previous stream, you feel free to comment as well, because I think it's kind of cool. But yeah, feel free to comment. I do think that we have, you know, we will have some interesting takes. Okay, who do you think is gonna win the candidates? Then, in that case, just type in chat your prediction. Just type in your prediction. Hikaru! We got a Hikaru over here. Fabi! We got a Fabi over there. Pragg! Let's go! Yeah, we're starting out the day with a Hikaru versus Fabi match, which I think is really exciting. Alright. Me? I'm not playing. Hikaru! Let me turn this up a bit. I don't know why it's so dark in here. Okay, cool. Hikaru, hopefully. Yeah, somebody said Esipenko. Let's go. Magnus out of nowhere. I kind of love that too. Okay, so here's the news I'm gonna tell you. According to XDAM's prediction model, Hikaru is going to win in the simulated one through Monte Carlo simulations and stuff with an 18.1% probability. And in the Stockfish 18, like pure engine play, it's also going to be Hikaru. Hikaru is apparently playing practically the strongest. And then there's also a world in which apparently Esipenko can potentially win. So I'm just letting you guys know that that is what XDAM is stating. So if you guys want to check that out. How can AI count as personality? So what's really, 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 really interesting about it is that this model does actually like count personality, if that makes sense. So basically, it also has this, well, you guys can't access this training lab feature, unfortunately. Only I can, because I'm cool like that. But basically what we are able to do is, okay, so chat, you guys have 3 options here. For example, let's do a little prediction, or let's do a poll. I'll give chat 3 options. There's Queen E5, Queen F5, and H6 as the possible top 3 engine moves. This is on Stockfish 18. I can run the depth a little bit longer so that, I mean, I hope this doesn't crash my laptop, my computer. I really, 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 really hope this doesn't crash my computer. So who am I rooting for? I'm rooting for The best player. Honestly, I'm just rooting for Fabi and Hikaru. I feel like it's due time for either of them. Both of them has the potential to become world champion. I want to see it. I think both would be really exciting. So yeah. Okay, so you guys get those 3 options. What move is Hikaru going to move next? And we got Queen E5, so that's this. Which just, you know, takes control of this open file, really logical. There's Queen to F5, which puts a little pressure on this D pawn, makes sure that white has to keep defending this pawn. And there is also, according to the engine, the possibility of H6. H6 just means you give your king a little bit of space. So, you know, with all your information about these players, which move do you think Hikaru will play? I'll give you guys 2 minutes, because I don't actually know how long he's going to spend on this move. He only has 25 minutes. We might need to shorten these in the future. Did I place? No, I have placed no bets. So yeah, put your word where your heart... Put your vote where your heart is. And the whole reason that we're doing this is because I am going to run this FEN in XTAM, which is going to be really, really cool. Look at that. It automatically pulls up that position. Hello, Babakos! Thank you so much for the prime. Welcome back to your 2nd month. Heck yeah. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, which candidate would play here? Well, look at this. I can select Hikaru Nakamura. Because, guess what? I bet Hikaru make a different move in this position than Fabi. If Fabi was the one playing black. Or Anish Giri. So, this is really, 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 really cool. XDAM is a model that, if you missed from last week, Mahmoud was on stream explaining how, well, this is his, like, sort of pet project. But XTAM is a company that does big picture, like AI overhaul. Like, how can big companies integrate AI, streamline it into their businesses? This is one of their, like, this is his little baby project. Reading the card explains the card. So it's a candidate's prediction model. The one that I have on screen right now is a very specific one, which is just predicting the moves, but I'll show you all the other features. So I'm just gonna press analyze. Hikaru is the one that is going to play in this position. So we have the engine output, and let's bring it down a little bit so you guys can see everything. It looks like in this position, the very first suggestion by Hikaru, or what XTAM model thinks Hikaru is going to play, is actually Queen E5. So that is actually also Engine's top move, and it's also Chat's top move. Whoa, look at Chat go. Heck yeah. Maybe Chat's gonna be correct, or maybe Chat just saw the top Engine line or is like, let's just go for that. So the way that this works is that this model basically took a bunch of Hikaru's key games, like actual relevant games, not just games he might have played against 7-year-olds. And then, like, sort of ran through that simulation, and the model basically arrives at this. But you can kind of see how interesting it is, because the Engine's second best move for black is Queen to F5, which we had previously discussed. I had mentioned this move just sort of hits this pawn. The XTAM model, yeah, it basically knows Hikaru's style. So, for example, if I had picked Anish Giri would have found a way to repeat the position and draw instantly. If I had selected Anish Giri, this engine would have been like, Anish Giri offers a draw. Yes, thank you very much. So, basically, this model is trained off of his relevant and recent games of Hikaru's and everybody else's, obviously. So you can see how interesting it is, because it actually says Hikaru here might be considering bishop c5. It would be absolutely crazy if Hikaru plays bishop c5 here. If Hikaru plays bishop c5 here, I swear, that would be crazy. But bishop c5 is not a move that comes intuitively to me. I think the idea would be defending this pawn so your queen's a little bit more free, but I don't personally think Hikaru would play bishop c5. So Queen e5 I think is much more likely. Queen e5 is extremely logical in my opinion. Once again, you just sort of double on this e-file. Yeah, the model knows about the pineapple shirt guy. Correct. That's literally what this is. Hikaru Nakamura, which candidate would play here? And then it also thinks Hikaru might potentially play rook e5. Oh, for sure. That's entirely why we're doing this, sub. Is so we can see this. And then... we also see rook to e5, queen f5. Queen f5 is here on this model. So yeah, it's just kind of cool to sort of see what the candidates might potentially play according to XTAM versus what the engine thinks they might play versus what chat might think what chat thinks they might play versus, you know, what he's actually gonna play. So bishop c5 was one of the main moves the commentators are talking about. Wait, that's crazy stuff. See, I don't have commentary piped into my ear, so I don't know. And I'm also, you know, slightly washed up woman grandmaster and yeah. No, the model sees through everything. Like I mentioned, the model is trained through their games itself, so it's not gonna like make blunders. It's not gonna. It's chess verified. It's chess verified. Yeah, you can see XTAM on the screen. The bottom left is XTAM. The top right is... wait. It is top right for you guys. Top right is chess.com. The model does use Stockfish. I don't know if it, like, uses it right now, but there was... so, for example, if you go to the homepage, there is a Stockfish 18 prediction, which says Nakamura would win. This is based off of... I believe... here, we can read it. Okay, Super GM Strength Chess Engine played out every game using each player's real opening repertoire from their recent tournament history. So this is basically if every single Grandmaster in the candidates was given a was put into Stockfish 18. Took their brain, put it into Stockfish 18, and made them play against each other endlessly for 100,000 times. Maybe not literally, but you get my point. And this was the conclusion. So yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised Hikaru is spending so much time on this move. He spent 6 minutes on this move, and it's actually been good because it's given me enough time to yap about everything, so hopefully you guys understand what's happening at this point. Yeah, took their brains, stuffed it, and was like, I'm gonna force you guys to not just play the candidates one time, but we're gonna force you guys to play the candidates 100,000 times. So, you know, we obviously can't actually get Hikaru to do that because he would be like, what the frick? I'm not doing that. So instead, they simulated Hikaru using a little stockfishness. And this is Hikaru's result. This is everybody's results, actually. This is everybody's results. So it would have predicted in this stockfish world of Hikaru and Fabi, Hikaru would have come first, Fabi would have come second, and Pragg would have come third. This is what the stockfish model... yeah, let's not think about that AS money. That sounds like my worst nightmare. That's the type of stuff I would put into my hell world. If I was to ever become the overruler, the leader of the underworld, if I was going to make a Tartarus, I would definitely put in like 100,000 classical games. As punishment. If you were like extra bad in life, if you were cheating on chess.com, that's going to be your underworld punishment. So don't cheat on chess.com. I mean... whether this model is right or wrong, we're gonna see because we will have tangible sort of results, right? Which actually reminds me, I need to go back to this because I kind of forgot. So let's put this position back in. Oh, sorry, that was my stream title. Is the overlord of the underworld middle management. That's so funny. Okay, let's put this back in. Hopefully by the time... here, let me show you guys how the model's different. So we remember that the engine said Hikaru would probably play queen e5, or the model said Hikaru would probably play queen e5 as their top move, and then bishop c5 was their second choice. What the XTAM model thinks Hikaru would play. Oh shoot, sorry, I put it on the wrong overlay. My bad, I need to not use the backward slash. Remember that? It does not calculate emotional decisions, but it does take in consideration, like, time controls and stuff. Like, it took into consideration the pressures you might face in real life. Okay. So, he played queen e5. Alright. The model is correct. And chat was correct. And the engine was correct. Everybody's correct. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Everybody was correct. High five, chat. I know you guys just took the top engine line and was like, let's roll with this, but everybody was correct, so everybody gets 1 point. I'm not keeping score. You won't have anything to redeem these points on. This is just for pure ego. So yeah. pure egos. You picked H6, you weren't. Sag. Unlucky. Okay, so now we are in Hikaru's position again, somehow, because Fabi played Queen F3 instantly. So watch this. So what we're able to do is we go in here, we take this position, and we go in here. No, I don't want Leo AI. And then we ask Xtam, our friend, our little prediction here, what Hikaru would play. So, alright, the engine Stockfish 18 thinks that the best move in this position is Queen to F6. The second best move being Rook to E7. You can see how the eval bar is slowly creeping it up. Sort of. I mean, it's still more or less equal. It's an opposite colored bishop. Endgame type scenario. Yeah, so. Alright, let's do another poll for what does chat. What will Hikaru play? And I'm always just going to give you guys the top 3. There's Queen F6. There's Rook E7 and Queen E7. You guys get 1 minute this time because their time controls are kind of getting shorter. So, feel free to participate in the poll. Hello! Hello. So, whatever you guys think. Don't look at the other prediction model yet. Don't look at that one. I know I already ran it, but you guys are not supposed to have that information yet. I did this in the wrong order. You guys were only supposed to have the engine, the Stockfish 18 choices. Hey guys! Good morning! Also, we have a brand new YouTube video that just dropped! If anybody wants to go check it out. It is available now on YouTube. It's with the Botes sisters from last May. It's only a year late, but if you guys could click that and give it a thumbs up and subscribe and comment, I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Woo! Gotta love YouTube. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, you can do that. Alright, so it looks like Rook E7 and Queen E7 are tied. So yeah, once again, even though Queen F6 is the preferred move, by the engine, Queen F6 does swap off the queens. It goes in towards a draw, which I'm sure Hikaru doesn't hate, but he is defending a slightly... It's not even that much worse, really. He does have double pawns, which is not spectacular if you go into this position. So I can see why Hikaru would not enjoy this. This is basically like a draw. The moves that you guys selected, both Rook E7 and Queen E7, defend the F-pawn, which is necessary. So good job on spotting that. Yeah. Woo! Okay, so, this is... The model style analysis ranks Rook E7 as the most likely choice. This is where chat, the model, and the engine are kind of different. Right? So Rook E7 just kind of defends the F7 pawn. This feels like a very Hikaru-like move. It defends, but it also keeps the queen on the board. He likes tactics, he likes aggression, he likes all that stuff. The only issue I have with Rook E7 is that I don't think this is a position in which black wants to keep on playing. Like, I feel like this is one of those positions where you just kind of suck it up. Your position is, like, not great. White has... It's not, like, bad necessarily. It's just, if you try to push for a win, you're probably not going to get the result you want type situation. Which is why I think Queen F6 actually makes a lot of sense. Trade off the queens. Go to bed a little bit early, start prepping for tomorrow's game. Because, yeah, this is just not a very easy position to go for anything in. So... Well, we got fashion today, too. I'm actually kind of matching the engine. Planned, all planned. But yeah, so we got Hikaru over here with that Rook to E7 prediction from both the engine and you guys, and it is second on the stockfish analysis. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Oh! Oppa! He played queen f6. Everyone's wrong except stockfish. Wow, that's crazy stuff. Whoa, and Fabi doesn't want to trade off the queens is also crazy stuff. Remember what I said about how I feel like pushing for a win in this position might be a little sus? This is kind of interesting. I mean, yeah, like I said, this is a draw. I think Fabi definitely feels like he has some type of advantage, which he does. He's not wrong. So yeah, kind of cool. Now, the ball is back in Hikaru's court. Fabi making his last couple of moves really, really fast. So, let's do another poll over here. Good morning, guys. Hello. What will Hikaru play? You've got... Oh, never mind. That was fast. Bishop c5 now. Oh, but look at that eval bar creeping up. So, the reason that I said... like, this position is a little dicey is because white has some sneaky ideas with potentially pushing this h-pawn up. The rook can't come in. This bishop is really good. Look at how it's kind of like nailing this f-pawn and everything. White's pieces have the potential to be active. h5 comes in pretty quick. Fabi moving fast. Yeah, good to see you guys too. We got some serious chess today. Some serious chess. Alright, cool. Okay, it looks like might be a moment. So this is another point. Pivotal point. Not all moves are made the same. So, Hikaru's move. We are gonna have you guys vote between h6, g6, and bishop f8. And you only get 1 minute. So, h6 simply blocks h6. I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory. Right? G6 looks scary, but if the pawn takes, you just play h takes, and white doesn't have enough material to make anything happen on the h file. And if bishop f8, well, this is just a very passive defensive move. I personally don't think Hikaru would ever play bishop f8 because he just moved the bishop. So xtam is... Oh! It's already in. Played h6. Fast moves coming in. Fast moves. Everybody guess h6, guys! Shh. But xtam is it's a candidate's prediction model. Who will challenge for the World Chess Championships? And right now, it's got Hikaru Nakamura as two of the... They used a Monte Carlo simulation, and then they used a Stockfish 18 engine simulation, where they just got every candidate to basically play, like, 24 rounds of this thing. And then they also have the, engine plus their playing styles simulation. So, it's pretty cool stuff. Yeah, Monte Carlo! So you should check it out. It also explains on the site every single approach they used, how it all worked, and all of their studies. XTAM is really, really cool. They do a lot of bigger picture stuff, like helping companies set up AI integration into their workplace. And this was one of their founders' like passion projects. Really passionate about chess. Mahmoud, shout out. So they made a whole research lab basically for the candidates, which is really sick. Like, wow. Yeah. And then they also made this training lab thing for me, but only I got access. So you guys can access this. But this is basically the prediction model for just the moves themselves. So basically I'm able to see... I can force two candidates to battle it out. I can play a candidate myself. I can play against Hikaru if I wanted to. And then, and then for this one, this is basically a prediction model on just how they make the position. Like each position, how the players are going to play. So, we're pause here for a moment. This is the first time Fabi has taken a moment, so let's do it. Let's ask ourselves, what will Fabi play? So Fabi has a couple of options. He's got Queen D1, Queen F3, and Queen D7. So you guys have a quick minute. I'm gonna go run this position in the... So we were using Hikaru because Hikaru was the one that was... whose turn it was, but this time it's Fabi's turn. So I'm just letting you know, this model would give you something completely different between Hikaru and Fabi. Not completely, they probably share some similarities, but for example, now I go on Xtam and I would press Fabi, and it thinks Fabi would play queen takes g5, which is not one of these top stockfish moves. Now, if Fabi plays queen takes g5, I'm gonna gift out 5 subs in honor of Xtam for predicting it. So, make sure you guys are also putting in your vote for what move you think will happen. Nope, not queen takes g5, it was indeed queen to d1. Queen to d1, it actually did not think Fabi was very likely to play. It was at number 8. Fast moves coming in once again. Sorry, queen d7... I think queen d7 was actually really interesting. It's pretty aggressive. It would have run into queen e7 anyways. But queen to d1 stops queen to d2 and rook to e2. Now the time situation is going to get a little closer. Alright. So in this spot, Fabi has bishop c6. Oh, he plays it instantly. No problem. Fabi ahead on the eval bar, it's true. I mean, Hikaru has to move the rook, so I don't think there's much point in waiting for this. Trying to guess this. How is this position not a draw? Okay, so real quick, the reason this position is not a draw is because Fabi has the like lead initiative. He has initiative. So basically what that means is this bishop was super duper good on d5. If he goes back, he'll probably just go rook e8. But then Fabi probably doesn't want to draw. He might rook left with rook to h4. This is a very classic idea in this opening called the winnower in French. But yeah. So this is an interesting position. Looks like Fabi is taking a moment. He doesn't have that much to think about. He can either move the bishop or he has to make this in-between move idea with rook to e1. So let's just run the prediction in this position real quick and see what the prediction model thinks Fabi will play. Oh, okay, well it was rook e1. The prediction model thought Fabi would play bishop e5. Okay. Not quite. Hey, yo, what's up? Hello. What's that Fetty Wap song? So now Hikaru has some queen choices, some options for the queen. That was your guess? I believe you. Queen move? Okay, queen f6, queen c7, and queen d6. I can't make the duration shorter than 1 minute, so you guys are just gonna have to go with it. Which one do you think Hikaru will play? I'm doing great. We're doing a little candidates with you guys. So here in this position, it's Hikaru, so we're going to toggle over to Hikaru, and we'll take a look. Over here is what we think Hikaru will play. Okay, well, rook takes c6 is a blunder, so it won't play that. But maybe queen d6. It thinks queen d6. Hopefully. There's no way this move works. Yeah, no, this can't work. Heck no. Queen f6. All right, let's see. Nothing yet. Yes, Christian, you should check out Xtam. Or their candidates model, at least. Which does have Hikaru and Nakamura winning the whole event. Alright, queen c7. The eval bar creeps up. So basically what Fabi has achieved in the last couple of moves is complete dominance over this E file. Now white has all access to the E file, black has 0 access to the E file. And I can't imagine Fabi to play anything other than bishop d5. He played it before I even finished my sentence, so yeah. I think this is a very, 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 very good position for Fabi. I think this is kind of dicey for Hikaru, honestly. So. Oh my gosh, wait, what about queen to g4? So, remember what I was saying about how this position can look a little dicey? Now if you try to play rook e8, you just have queen takes g7. This is kind of like creeping up. Hikaru's bishop is basically a pawn. Hikaru has no access to the e file. It's looking scary, scary, scary. Okay, there's the queen g4 I was telling you guys about. Well, Fabi is good at calculating, but Fabi is also very good at positional chess. Fabi is like quite good at positional activity, if that makes sense. Like, you might see this position and be like, well, pawns are equal. Why is the eval bar so much in favor of Fabi? It's because black has no moves. Black can't play anything. Black's effectively in Zugzwang. If the bishop goes here, queen takes. If the rook goes here, rook takes. If you just play nothing, if you try to play rook to d8, then there's queen to f5. Trying to play queen h7 with checkmate, and then you have to stop that. If you try to move the king back, well, now all of a sudden you have this type of checkmate. If the king comes back, then you still have queen h7. You're trying to checkmate. Like, this is just peak, like, positional activity for Fabi in this position. If you try to play queen b8, well, you can't. Wow. Okay, queen f5. If you try to play queen b8, you get checkmated in 1. So Fabi just needs to find queen to f5, which is the dominating move. So let's do a poll here. Fabi's move. Queen f5. Rook e4. Queen e4. It's all good. It's all good. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Unless you're on YouTube, in which case I won't see your message. You guys gotta come over and ask on Twitch because I can't read. I have too many browsers open. I have too many pages open. You'd find queen b8. I believe you would, Beal. I believe you would. Thank you. Believe it or not, I sometimes do commentary as a professional, as a professional gig. Occasionally. Ba, ba, ba. You would find king h2. Nice. All right, so chat thinks Fabi will find it. Okay, let's see if our Xtam friend over here thinks Fabi would find it. Rook e4. Oh, it has queen f5 at number 4. It's not very high up. Pause. Pause, champ. Pause, champ. This game has been super duper exciting. I haven't even like oh my gosh! Dude, do you guys see this? Do you guys see this? Oh, this is super exciting. Look, 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 look. The XM model thought that Fabi would play queen e4 before queen f5, and Fabi played queen e4. That's kind of cool, right? Like, it gets it. It gets that Fabi wants to do this thing, but unfortunately, it also thought that, well, I don't know if it's that unfortunate, but it also predicted that Fabi wouldn't find the best version of trying to make that happen. That's actually really, 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 really freaking sick that it found queen e4. The model, well, yeah, that's literally what it is. The modelers of this model literally design a model that would model people's chess games. Like Fabi, they could model mine if they wanted. They could model Beal's. In Beal's case, Beal would have for sure played something like queen g6. That's what Beal's model would have predicted. Sorry, Beal. Beal would have been like, how can I threaten checkmate and h7 all at once? Blunders queen immediately. But yeah, that's my point. The model is like it's true. Yeah. Wait, they pushed it back by 10 moves? You can't even offer a draw move 30 anymore? That's crazy. So, okay, Fabi is still doing a lot better in this position. Once again, there is no possibility of rook to e8. This time for different reasons. So watch this. Queen takes f7. Now, it might be like, wait, you're just losing a queen. But look at this. Rook takes e7 and the queen is pinned. It cannot take. So now when the king moves, you can just take this. How sick is that? Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. So yeah, that's why the rook still cannot come to the e-file. Still no e-file. Pretty insane. I mean, there's honestly just so much going on in this position. Like, where did Hikaru go wrong? I would say Hikaru probably went wrong around here. I think it was necessary to keep to basically never let your rook come off the e-file, because remember how I talked about how like white now has such good access of the e-file and black can never come back on the e-file. If your rook doesn't have an open file, what's the point of even having a rook, right? So yeah, I mean, I think this position is hard to honestly predict because all the moves are kind of bad, but we can still do it. What will Hikaru play? Rook b8, rook c8, and rook f8. I just think it was really, really, really cool that the prediction model discovered that Fabi would play queen e4, and Fabi actually played queen e4. This is classical. This is classical. They're gonna get extra 30 minutes, I believe, in like one move. So yeah. The extant prediction pressure got to Hikaru. Exactly. Exactly. Check it out. Also, while you're here checking out classical chess and you think that it's too slow, you might want to check out my YouTube video as well, which is faster and it's blitz and it's cool. So yeah. Ba-ba. New YouTube video. If you're on YouTube, check it out too. All right, so Hikaru played rook f8. Well, poll's already over, and like I said, Fabi just has complete dominance of this position. So, yeah. How sick is that? Okay, I mean, I know that, like, we should go check some of the other games too, but I feel like it's been so exciting here that I can't even scroll past. But if anybody really wants to check out some of the other games, we can do so. Heck yeah, I'm glad that there is some discoverability feature on Twitch. This is the main event, yes. This is the main event. Pragg's winning against Anish? Oh boy. Alright. I mean, I think Hikaru is winning here, so we'll come back in a moment. Let's go take a look. Wow, all the white games are winning. Alright, so here we got Pragg against... Hikaru is losing, unfortunately. Fabi is winning. We got Pragg versus Anish. They are about to hit move 40, and this looks like a winning endgame. So let's do a little poll. Alright. Will Pragg play... Well, there's only two options, apparently. H6 or C4. Easy peasy for you guys. Let's take a look and see what our little X-Tam friend here. So this is Pragg's move. I can toggle this to any of the candidates. How cool is that? So Pragg in this position would play, let's see, D4. Wow. Or rook f5 and then c4, but definitely not h6. That's interesting. So the reason it might think that, so h6 might look a little dicey because there's knight to f3 with this fork. And then if the king moves, there's this, king takes, and then the rook takes this, and then if the pawn pushes, you just go rook h2, and this pawn can't go anywhere. But if you don't push the pawn, you can just play rook takes f4, and now if the rook comes here, you can just defend like that. So then you're up 1 pawn, and it's a, like, advanced outside pass pawn. That's what these type of pass pawns are called. Oh my gosh, my endgame knowledge is coming back to me. So, yeah. That's why he might think that's a little dicey, but... Oh, he does play h6! Whoa! Wow, that's a great move by Pragg. Because this model did not think Pragg would play h6. 99.1%! Wow, that's insane. Okay, so Anish has very few seconds to decide what he's gonna do here, so I don't know if there's a point. Let's do it. It's fun. It's kind of fun to see what the model might think everybody does. So let's do Anish Giri. What would Anish Giri play here? Let's take a look. It's Black's turn. Analyzing. Okay, it thinks Anish for sure is gonna find knight f3. So let's see if Anish is gonna play knight f3. All the knowledge is like rushing back to me. He finds knight to f3! Alright, let's go! Okay, and we have ourselves a game. So now they have reached plus 30 minutes, which means these games are about to slow down a lot. So the model works. They took all of the candidates' most No, the model is not just top engine moves. It's top engine moves plus took all of their recent games and basically like aggregated it to play within their style. It's so many levels and I can't explain it because unfortunately I was not the designer of this model. Mahmoud did explain last week, but he is not here with us right now. So it basically, yeah, I mean, it's really crazy. If you want to check it out, you can read up on XTAM how they did a bunch of the simulations and stuff. But I believe they took all of their most recent games, relevant games, and then like basically ran simulations on it and had them simulate like, yeah, it's really awesome. So it is a little bit beyond that, I believe. Watch, the tree style model is not what XTAM is doing. Tree style is what Stockfish 18 without the NNUE is based on. We're running Stockfish 18 with NNUE though, so it's a little bit, even the Stockfish 18 on chess.com has elements of machine learning and all of that. Yeah, it's really, 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 really cool from a computer science perspective for sure. Oh my god, I think that's XTAM in the chat. Yo, hello XTAM, thank you so much for the 20 gifted subs. Yo, if you guys got a gifted sub from XTAM, please make sure you're thanking them. Heck yeah. Not only have they provided us with such an amazing model to spice up our candidates viewing experience, but they've also gifted you guys subs. If you guys have any questions, I believe this is also a good time to just tag them and ask them real quick, because I am not in computer science, unfortunately. I did do a stats degree, but I did not finish that stats degree. Okay, so like I mentioned, they just hit 30 minutes, so things are about to slow down a little bit. Let's take a look actually at Javakir's game. They have not hit 30 minutes, the extra 30 minutes yet. And also for everybody who's new to this and new to the candidates, there's this rule in classical chess, or there's a lot of different time controls in classical chess, but one of the time controls is you start with 90 minutes, you get 30 seconds per move, and then after move 40, you get an extra 30 minutes. The model has been really, really accurate. Well, it's been pretty accurate. I mean, like 75% accuracy, I would say, because it found this crazy move that Fabi played, the rookie 4 move, and that was peak. That was actually peak. So yeah. Okay, they just hit 30 minutes. They just hit the extra 30 minutes now. This game a little lower on accuracy. Javakir is completely winning in this position. So it looks like this pawn is scary, right? But white is effectively checkmating. So this is actually a really cool game to take a pause on, because let's run a poll here. Let's take a poll here, because I think that even though there's a lot of time, I'll give you guys 2 minutes. Rook e6 is not an easy move to find. I'll explain rook e6 after, but let's see. Javakir, will Javakir find the move? Rook e6, rook c6, or queen e8. Those are the Stockfish 18 top choices. There are 3 games simultaneously right now because 1 game ended in a draw. So there is Javakir. So basically, let me run this through the one of the games already ended in a draw, so it's 1 less than that. We have not run a Javakir simulation yet. I'm not super familiar with Javakir's chess. I'm not familiar with this game, literally. So I can't actually talk to you guys about what I think the XTAM model says versus how he plays. From my understanding, he's like an aggressive youngster, but like, I don't really know. Like, I know Fabi enjoys like positional aggressive chess, which is a really good style of chess. And Anish Giri obviously likes draws, and Wei is very aggressive, and Hikaru really likes bullet and like tactics, and is just good at chess. I'm not super familiar with Javakir actually, but the model thinks that Javakir is gonna play queen to e8, and then second it will think he plays rook to e6, which is interesting because the engine eval says rook e6 is the best move. And then rook c6 is the second best move. And then queen e8 is the third best move. Sorry, queen e8. Yeah, queen e8 is the third best move. So the model thinks that Javakir will actually play queen e8 straight. So let's take a look. Let's break this down a little bit. Yeah. So rook e6 is really fascinating because you might think this is free, but then you got checkmate in 4. Because if the king goes here, this is just checkmate, right? If the king goes here, then you got queen e8, king goes here. Shoot, I'm trying to find the checkmate in real time. Everything's basically checkmate. Like, everything's just checkmate. So you cannot take that rook. It's still not, like, the most intuitive... Oh my gosh! And he finds rook e6, which was actually number 2 on the suggestion. Engine top move, number 2 on the prediction model. Earning himself a brilliancy. Wow, what a move. That's actually super duper cool. I don't think it's, of course he won't. There's no of course in this situation. But that's beautiful. Yeah, I guess by that time, if you thought for that long, you're not playing queen e8. You know what, Sengoku? You're right. You're actually kind of right about that. If you're thinking that long, you're not playing queen e8. Queen e8 is a move you're trying to make when you're like trying to gain a little bit of time. The AI is performing pretty well so far. It's performing pretty well. It did not predict that as number 1 for Javakir, but it is number 2. So, XTAM knows his game. But yeah, we just saw a beautiful brilliancy coming in for Javakir. This is completely winning, so I don't think we need to go over it. Basically, you're just threatening checkmate. We already went over how this line doesn't work, right? So this is just going to be like a mate in a few moves, and the king can't go here. So yeah, this is beautiful. Wow. All right, round of applause for Javakir. Heck yeah. I think that was super duper sick. That was super duper sick. People clap for Javakir. Wow. Getting a brilliancy in your very first game. Also, this does not bode well for XTAM's last but not least prediction. So they ran 3 different predictions entirely for who's going to win. Or who's gonna win candidates. 2 of them, the Monte Carlo and the engine simulation, both said Nakamura. And then the third one said it was going to be Esipenko. This is not boding well for that prediction. But that's alright. Okay, we're going to go back to predict the move. Esipenko has actually already resigned. Moment of silence for the model that predicted Esipenko. But that is 2 of the games for today. Okay, so Anish Giri has finally made a move. Oh my gosh. So when we were leaving this game to go over to the Javakir game, Anish Giri had gotten to this position. And then I guess it took both of them. So Pragg spent a bit of time playing King F1, and then Anish played Knight takes E1. You predicted and finished last? Alright, well, there's only one move in this position, so there's no point in running the prediction. We'll come back to this game. Let's go back to Hikaru versus Fabi. This looks like a good spot to run a prediction on. Let's do a little poll. So, what move? Bishop e4. So this is Fabi's move. Rook f4 and rook f5 are your options. Go, 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 go. Seems the closest reality. Oh, wow, that was quick. Rook f4 immediately played. Damn. All right. Everybody, you can't pull this wrong. Okay, so rook f4. What's the point of rook f4? I don't really know. Like putting... we can't take that. Are we thinking about sacking on d4? There's no way we're thinking about sacking on d4, so I'm not actually sure. Alright, well... that's okay, because we're actually gonna have to run a poll for... Hikaru's next move. So Hikaru has rook to e8, queen to d8, and rook to d8. Alright, I don't really know what rook d8 does either. I feel like Fabi has let some of that initiative slip away from him, you know? Hikaru is, like, defending well. So let's guess. Let's guess what Hikaru will play. Rook e8, queen d8, and rook to d8. And then what else we can do is copy this. Yeah, Fabi's advantage was a lot more straightforward a couple of moves ago where he had these insane ideas, but he's let Black sort of consolidate a little bit. Black's bishop is no longer a tall pawn on c5 and is now a slightly improved pawn on f6 where it actually defends two things. So queen e8 has been played. Queen e8 has been played. Yeah, I don't really know what White's idea is here. Oh wow, they're playing really fast. Okay. Let's take a look at what Fabi would play in this position. So, what would Fabiano Caruana play? Oh, what did I do? Ah, I didn't log in. One sec. Top secret login, because I'm the only person with access. Ha ha ha. Alright, let's see. What do we think Fabi's gonna play? Or rather, what does the Xtam model think Fabi's gonna play? Okay, so it thinks Fabi's gonna play bishop c6. Alright, alright. Let's do it. Let's see. Fabi has rook f5, bishop c6, and bishop b7. Try it. See if it works for you. So yeah, I think Fabi has good opportunities in this game still to win. We'll see if it actually happens. We'll see if it happens. And then okay, so here Fabi bishop c6, chat's voting rook f5 because that's the engine top move, classic chat. Yeah, absolute bloodbath in the open section. Absolute bloodbath. So bishop c6 is what Xtam thinks Fabi will play. I'm failing to really understand this position. I am not going to lie. I actually think Hikaru has decent chances of making it out of this because it's not very clear where Fabi's advantage is anymore. Like, yes, he has an advantage, but also at the same time, where is it? What does he do now? Right? It was much clearer a few moves ago, like I told you, where Fabi had some extremely obvious ideas of going for checkmate. So now it's a little bit dicier, I would say. I would say it's a little bit dicier. I think it's a little less clear. So, I wasn't here for the openings. But I don't think the openings were necessarily that. They're gonna do whatever prep they have, right? And we might not have that current information because we do not have access to their training games. Do I think they will draw? No, I think Fabi is definitely going to be pushing for a win. Bishop e4. Okay, Bishop e4 was 3rd, actually, on the prediction model. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Yeah, I mean, Bishop e4 was what the engine thought Fabi the second best move for Fabi. And then kind of cool. Kind of cool. So, the model here thought Bishop e4 would be Fabi's 3rd best move. Also, because we haven't really talked about this enough, you can see how if I toggle over to Hikaru for this position, and if it was Hikaru's white move, Hikaru plays something different. Potentially. So yeah, okay, well this is pretty similar. Okay, let's take a look at Bishop c6, Rook f5. I mean, all these players are really good. But if you give them to different candidates, they're likely to play different moves. Yeah, I mean, this position I feel like is pretty self-explanatory. You have 3 options, and that's it. We'll take a better example at some point, so. Okay, so now Fabi has threats again of queen to f5 with checkmate. So, how is Hikaru going to defend it? He has queen to c8, offering a trade of queens. So if the queen goes here, you just trade off queens. Pretty self-explanatory. This position I do understand a little better. If rook e8, there's still queen to f5, but now the king can run. And if you go here, well, you just get your queen there and then you trade off queens and it's not a big deal. In fact, black actually gets a rook onto the e file, which is what Hikaru has been trying to do this whole time. So, I think this is maybe also a really good spot to ask ourselves, what do we think Hikaru might play? There's also the option of queen d6, which is a little bit scarier, I would say. Like, I don't know if this is that intuitive. I mean, you're a grandmaster, so you don't let ghosts scare you, but I do not want my opponent's queen on h7. But then again, that's maybe why I'm not Hikaru. Which is okay. Alright, start a poll. Let's go. So this time we're gonna copy-paste this position into our little friend, and then what would Hikaru play? We ask that question. And... bam! It's going to be queen to d6! Wow, the prediction model thinks that Hikaru is going to play queen d6. This is exactly the type of move I would be way too scared to play. Like... I mean, once again, I showed you guys how this doesn't really matter, right? Hikaru just moves the king, blah, 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 and just goes over here, and it's totally fine. But, like, I don't know, man. I feel like that is a high-level move. But then again, we are watching the candidates, which is high-level chess. High-level chess. So what do you guys think? Hikaru's move. Queen c8? I think queen c8 is the natural move, too. The X-Tab model thinks that queen c7 is going to happen before queen c8. So that's kind of interesting. What's wrong with bishop g5? Well, bishop g5 just doesn't do anything. Like, we're just going to threaten checkmate. You have to play g6, then I take, and then if you take, then there's checkmate. So, bishop g5 is just, what I would call an irrelevant move. Yeah, I think this will be a long game as well. I agree with you. Pretty cool stuff, though. Pretty cool stuff. Alright, I feel like this is maybe a good time. Queen c8 would essentially mean Hikaru's happy with a draw. I think Hikaru should be happy with a draw, though. I feel like this is that time where the draw is good for him. I see no reason for him to not take it. He doesn't have a better position. Sometimes it's alright to accept that things might not be all they seem. But yeah. I mean, we'll see. Alright, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. I do have a brand new YouTube video. Oh, never mind. We have a move. Rookie 8. Let's see, was Rookie 8 in here? Rookie 8 was move number 4. Whoa, that's really nice. Rookie 8 was indeed on the prediction. So Rookie 8 has been played. Which means, once again, he's accepting the fact that there's gonna be queen here, and queen here, and all that stuff, and he doesn't care. This prediction model and I might be making some money. No, I'm joking. I don't think you can predict individual moves. That would be hilarious. Okay, so now, once again, the ball is back in Fabi's court. There is bishop c6, rook f5, and bishop d5 as the top 3 options. Now, I don't know why we were making some of these moves. I don't know why we would play bishop c6, honestly. Like, the rook will just climb up, no, to e6 or something, and then you just do this. Yeah, I don't really know. I have to think a little bit. Alright, so let's just do a little poll. Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't know. What will Fabi play? Bishop c6, rook f5, bishop d5. Let's take this position and put it in. And then Fabi. Click that Fabi button. Bishop d5. Interesting. Okay, so the prediction model thinks Fabi will play bishop d5, which is actually the third best move according to the engine. I don't know if bishop d5 is that likely, because it just went from there, so I don't think so. I don't think so. It unfortunately doesn't have context information for what the previous moves were, so yeah. That might be a limiting factor sometimes, but I do think it's more likely that Fabi will play bishop c6 or queen f5. I personally am rooting for queen f5. I think there's a real chance Fabi will play queen f5. This is just a poll. This is not a prediction. I'm just using prediction because that's what I'm asking you guys to do, but you guys don't actually have to put any money in or like any channel points in. I think queen f5 is very likely. Freestyler, are you saving up for something? Okay, I do need to run to the bathroom. So I'm gonna let you guys watch a YouTube video real quick. This is my new YouTube video, if you have not yet already checked it out. I just released it a couple minutes ago.
All your passions, like your life. Like,
your life's too
short to not do it. Really. Yeah, you never know what's gonna work. Like maybe you'll pursue something that you've been like, oh, I don't really want to do this, and like that's like what your career. Like you meet someone through that, and like you make a business, and you have financial freedom. Like there's just so much, like so many doors that open up when you open yourself up to new things. No.
Hear that, chat? We gotta clip that. Clip that. We're gonna post it. Yeah. This is gonna be like one of those motivational, like, yeah.
Like, the only way for you to like open yourself up to like things is to go outside. Like I like struggle with like depression and stuff like a lot, and like when you're depressed, you just want to stay inside all day and like do nothing.
It's true. Once you're like stuck in the cycle, it's so hard to break out of it.
Yeah.
Which is why don't get stuck in the cycle in the first place and live a healthier life.
Yeah, I mean it's harder. It's like it's so easier said than done. Like
sure.
Like, just don't be depressed. Like,
he doesn't have that fast reflexes. He's a little slow. He's so okay with everything right now. Oh my god! My condolences. I don't really know what you want me to say. Unfortunate. I'll just like spin a wheel of appropriate reactions and somebody can tell me if it's correct or wrong. I do not care. But anyways, We are going to be going over your games, so once again, if you would like to. So ready. Yes. Yeah, I love the knee up. Yeah, beautiful. We'll do final few down here. Is turning into a pretzel?
I am the father of Nakamura.
Pardon?
I am the father of Nakamura. Because
Oh my god!
Nemo.
Wait! Sorry, you're Anna's? This is using. Oh no, you heard the clips audio?
Wow.
That's my bad. Wrong audio feed, no! Okay, I will get that fixed. Sorry. I had no idea. I apologize. Do you only hear the clips audio and did not hear the like game audio at all? Oppa. Okay, no worries, no worries. Wait, what did Fabi play? Fabi played Rook F5? Okay, that was number 4. What was that on the engines prediction? It was number 2? Okay. Interesting, interesting. I will have to figure that out. That's okay. Alright, let's see. Rook F5. Hello! Hello, hello! How's it going? How are you? Maybe we just won't worry about playing it then. Because then I don't know why. I don't know why it does that. So the idea of Rook F5 is something I have yet to discover. I'm figuring that out right now. Give me a moment here, guys. Putting my thinking cap on. I don't put my thinking cap on very often. I mean, I assume we're threatening something like this or this. Like, if black does nothing, what is white gonna play? Oh, c5. Ooh. And then this pawn is extremely weak. Okay, so we have determined. Also, this is a hack, by the way. Whenever I don't know when I don't know what somebody's trying to do, I just make a nonsense move for the opponent, and then I see what the next move is for white, and then that's how I figure out that's what you know, white wants to do. So if I'm ever at a loss, that's what I do. So now Hikaru's main goal is to prevent pawn to c5. So queen c8 is an option, bishop e5 is an option, and queen d7 are options. So queen d7 stops c5 because if you take, you can't take with the rook because this queen is hitting. And then if you play queen to c8, it basically does the exact same thing. Does the exact same thing. So yeah. Alright, well, there you have it. What do you guys think? What move will Hikaru make? Queen c8, bishop e5, or queen to d7? And let's do our favorite activity of running this through. So this is Hikaru's move. What would Hikaru play? Let's take a look. Queen c7 doesn't do that because you can still push, and if the pawn takes, there's rook takes, or you can just play rook takes f6. Sorry, my bad. There's just straight up rook takes f6. So you have to pin this queen, because you can't play rook takes f6. If the queen moves anywhere else, okay, well that's, ignore that fact that it's under attack, but this is pinned, right? So the bishop just drops. Okay, so Hikaru might play king f8. Whoa, that's crazy. I don't know if Hikaru would play King f8. Also, if you are watching on YouTube, I know that you guys tend to be, a little bit weirder on that side as I went into the perfect message. That got deleted. Great, great, great. Come hang out with us on Twitch, but if you want to check out XTAM, you can also do so at that link. Queen c8's the same. It just does the exact same job as Queen c7, except it's a little bit better. It's defended, it stops rook takes f6, and it stops c5. So the XTAM model thinks King f8 or Queen d6 or Rook e6 might happen, though, all before any of those queen moves. Chat thinks Queen c8 is going to happen, or at least 3 people do. The 3 people that participated in this activity today do. So that's always good. I'm just extremely ADHD. I'm not even that caffeinated today. But let a girl be ADHD, man. Yeah. If you're on YouTube, come to Twitch and stop being weird. Literally. That's just my request. Yeah, I mean, if you think King of Fate's gonna happen, well, you're in line with the XTAM model. They're running out of time again. They don't get additional time. So let's go take a look at how the Anish Giri game is working. Hello, Dank Moon Ladouche. Thank you so much for the prime. Appreciate it. Welcome to the pool party. Thank you, thank you. Caffeine. Injected straight into my veins, please. Okay, so I am not an endgame expert by any means. Yeah, pool party! But keep your pants on and shirts on, please. It's not that kind of pool party. This is a pool party where nobody actually goes into the pool. Just making that really clear. There is a pool, it's just for aesthetic purposes. Alright, so here we got options. This is exactly the line that I told you guys would happen. Do you remember? I mean, it took them like half an hour to get here, but like we are here now. This is literally what I told you guys would happen, is that white now just defends the H-pawn and then black has questions. And I have questions because I don't actually know where it goes from here. I don't actually know how white wins this, hypothetically. I guess it's my job as the commentator to tell you guys, huh? Alright, let's put our thinking caps on! Hey, Strange Ticket, thank you so much for the prime as well. Welcome to the pool party. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I am not an official commentator. When I'm not an official... Okay, you guys have no idea how exhausted I am after days of commentating because I actually, like, think. I'm, like, super active thinking during those type of events. I'm, like, trying to conceptualize how do I explain this best to my audience that might not know why, you know, keeping your king in the center is bad. How do I explain chess concepts to that? Anyways, my point is, in this position, it is a very slightly better position. Yo, Cock Socks with the huge raid! Welcome, everybody! Hello, hello, hello! Thank you so much for the raid! Welcome, guys! Hope you're all doing really, really, really well. Shout out to Cook Sucks! Were you guys IRLing? Were you guys having fun in the real world? Because if you were, welcome to the chess world. The biggest tournament in chess literally just started today. It's called the Candidates. And there's this guy called Hikaru Nakamura who is currently playing. We can't get their cameras, unfortunately. We don't own rights to that. But we're running predictions for their moves. While also, yeah, super cool. Thank you guys so much. Welcome, guys. Miss you, Cook! Have fun in Greece. That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. Sometimes IRL stream, but Today is one of those days where we're sitting at home. Hey, Selenic, thank you so much for the tier 1. Welcome back to your 3rd month. Appreciate it. So, you guys might have heard of Hikaru Nakamura. Bro is one of the best chess players in the world. He is a super grandmaster. I am a woman grandmaster, which is a little bit below that. Yo, Northern Invader, thank you so much for the prime as well. Welcome back to your 3rd month. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Heck yeah. Welcome in. Hello, hello. Welcome, guys. So we're basically doing little predictions. In this situation, we have this thing called the engine. And the chess engine, unlike IRL, there's no engine for IRL. Basically, what it does is tells you what the best move in this position is. Imagine if there was an engine that told you in life what the best move would be. How cool would that have been? We don't have that yet, so we have to settle for a chess one. So on top of the chess engine, what we can also do here is, for example, run it through our prediction model. This is a prediction model run like based on all of Hikaru's most recent games. And yeah. We would give Hikaru, it is Hikaru's turn. So we analyze. Yeah, you have me for life advice. Ask away. Ask anything you want. Ask away. So it would have predicted in this position. Oh my gosh, wait. Do you see that? Do you guys see that? Queen e6, rook e6, and bishop g5 was this model's prediction. And guess what Hikaru played? Bishop to g5. Kind of cool. What's the use for a chess engine? To get better at chess. So you can see, oh, this is where I made a mistake, an error in my ways, and you can fix that the next time you get into a situation. That's the point of an engine. But yeah, it's true. There's a few more move options, IRL. Aw, thank you so much, Floris. I super appreciate it. Thank you. I missed the League days, but we'll have League in the future, I hope. Fingers crossed. Just trying to keep everything fun, honestly. Whether it's chess, League, IRL. Just keeping it fun. A little variety never hurts. But yeah. Bishop g5 was in fact predicted. So now, Fabi... So, okay. To set the stage for this game, for everybody coming in, this tournament, today's day 1, this tournament's gonna last 3 weeks because chess tournaments last insanely long, is a competition to see who can challenge the world chess champion in chess. That is the purpose. That is the purpose of this tournament. And it's really important because it is I don't want to say it's actually Hikaru's last, chance in the candidates or something like that. It just is like they're getting a little older. It's getting less and less likely, but yeah. So this is a big deal. The current world chess champion is Gukesh, and this tournament happens every 2 years. It's a 2-year cycle. It's Hikaru's last time again. It's true. Hey, Stuart, thank you so much for the tier 1. Appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome to the pool party, where there is no pool. And it's only a little bit of a party. Magnus has decided he does not want to participate in this format. Magnus Carlsen, a household name that you guys might have heard of, is the current world Blitz and Rapid champion, but is not playing the classical formats. So, yeah, kind of crazy. Oh, sorry, I need to update. So we had queen to f3 and queen to c7. So yeah. Pragg will win again. We will see what happens. We will see what happens. So that's where all of your predictions is actually really fun, because Xtam ran a Monte Carlo simulation, 100,000. Oh, we got a brilliancy with rook takes f7. Oh my gosh. This is actually insane. And now the queen is pinned. And this might be Hikaru's game. I mean, sorry, Fabi's game. Because if rook e6, then you have queen g4. You don't need to... Don't take it, because you just lose your piece. Because there's nothing... This rook can't move away, because then you lose the queen. Oh my gosh, wow, this is crazy stuff. Oh, and the moves were played. The moves are on the board. So currently, the prediction model does say Hikaru is going to win the candidates, based off of what was run. This was run on February 24th, which is like a month before, you know, the event started. But if Hikaru goes down, that would be crazy in the very first game. In the very first game. This is a very, 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 very good position for Fabi. So Fabi is now officially up 1 pawn, at least, which is already good for an endgame. But also the black king is extremely weak. So, yeah. Kind of good stuff. Kind of good stuff. Down a pawn, no background threat. Time for Hikaru to potentially... I would never advise somebody to resign. The one reason I would in an event like this is because it's a 3-week tournament. The games are like 5-6 hours long every single day, and it's better to just sometimes give it up and then say like, all right, I'll give this up. Let me just go prepare for the next game and all that stuff. So yeah. Yeah. But before the event, let me actually go through my full thought process. Fabi was actually number 2 most predicted, likely to win. So if you go onto the homepage, you can check all this stuff yourself, by the way, if you're super curious about the details of how they ran this. It is available on Xtam. It's this is public. The runner-up is Fabi. Runner-up is Fabi. And even for this... Somehow, there was this Esipenko simulation thing, where Esipenko came first in the simulation. Fabi was still second, so Fabi's super consistent. Super duper consistent. But yeah, that's really, really cool. Okay, I will be right back. I'm gonna go grab some coffee really quick, and I'll let you guys... Yeah, I'll be right back. BRB.
Yeah, like follow all your passions. Like your life, like
Your life's too short to not do it. Really.
Yeah, and you never know like, what's gonna work. Like maybe you'll pursue something that you've been like, oh, I don't really want to do this, and like that's like what your career. Like you meet someone through that, and like you make a business, and you have financial freedom. Like there's just so much like so many doors that open up when you open yourself up to new things. No.
Hear that, chat? We gotta clip that. Clip that. We're gonna post it.
Yeah.
This is gonna be like one of those motivational, like, yeah.
I mean, the only way for you to like open yourself up to like things is to go outside. Like, I like struggle with like depression and stuff like a lot. And like when you're depressed, you just want to stay inside all day and like do nothing.
It's true. Once you're like stuck in the cycle, it's so hard to break out of it.
Yeah.
Which is why don't get stuck in a cycle in the first place and live a healthier life.
Yeah, I mean it's harder. It's like it's so easier said than done. Like just don't be depressed. Like,
he doesn't have that fast reflexes. He's a little slow. He's so okay with everything right now. Oh my god! My condolences. I don't really know what you want me to say. Unfortunate. I'll just like spin a wheel of appropriate reactions and somebody can tell me if it's correct or wrong. I do not care. But anyways, we are going to be going over your games. So once again, if you would like to... So ready? Yes. Yeah, I love the knee up. Alright, we're back. I brought you guys a cat. That's my cat. His name's Casco. He's super duper cute. He's sometimes a menace. But that's him up there. He's a great boy. I also brought myself a bagel and a cup of coffee. The cat is cute, I agree. This is my only cat. He's so cute right now with his little paw sticking out. 10 out of 10 cat. Most of the time. Okay, looks like Fabi's gonna be winning this game. So, yeah, I don't know. This is crazy. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not the easiest win of all time, but for a super grandmaster like Fabi, I feel like he's got this. Being up a pawn and just having so much activity is just really good. Okay, let's take a look at the other game that's still going on. We got Giri versus Pragg. Giri is playing black and is down a pawn. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's kind of cool what Xtan was able to do. But their predictions. Okay, so Pragg is in this endgame. I'm still trying to figure out how to win this as white, by the way. So the engine likes king f4. Now, if rook takes d3, what happens? h7. The rook just comes back. Rook f7. The king comes up. And then you just move the king over? This is winning? I guess it is. I just feel like it's... Okay, so what happens? Yeah, okay, so you block with your rook eventually. Okay, so basically, the way that Pragg wins this game, is that this king is just gonna go all the way over here. Like, somewhere over here. Not there. Over there. And then white will block with the rook, and then the pawn will promote. With the king and the rook assisting the pawn, there's no way this pawn won't promote. Yeah, they got a lot of the moves right, for sure. I thought that was really cool. There you go. Well, first of all, it's white's turn, so... How about you guys predict white's move? Pragg's move. King f4. King e4. King d2. There you go. Good luck. Have fun. Thanks, Spyro. We'll go back to the Fabi Hikaru game in one moment, but can we predict a table smash? Let's take a look at what Xtam thinks Pragg is gonna play here. So, let's take a look. Xtam thinks that Pragg is going to play king to e4. I think king e4 makes a lot of sense. I think king e4 is the natural move, where it's like getting closer to the pawn, but it still defends d3. It's not the engine top move, but I think it's a lot more human than king f4. Now, maybe Pragg is like playing like an engine. I have no idea, so we'll find out. This is an interesting spot. I definitely think that king f4 is within his, like, realm. Like, he could play that, but also at the same time, who knows? You know? Who knows? King e4 is just so much more natural. You're moving your king up, closer to your passed pawn, and you're defending your d3 pawn. He's taking a moment here, though, which is not necessarily great. Because I don't think they get a second round of time. This might be all the time he has left. 10 minutes. I'm having a bagel. It's a bagel. Bagel. Alright, bro's taking a bit of time. Let's take a sneak peek and come back. Let's take a look at Fabi versus Hikaru. So yeah, if you missed the last couple of moves, Fabi was putting pressure on Hikaru for the majority of this middle game. And then eventually found rook takes f7 for the perfect moment to sacrifice the rook! And then ending in this position where equal number of rooks, but he is up a pawn. So that's how we ended up here. Yeah, they got their 30 minutes after move 40. There are some tournaments where you get an additional, like, 30 minutes after move 60, but I don't think it's this one. There's just so many different time controls these days. I can't keep track of them all. Hello! I don't know. Can somebody verify, please? I genuinely have no idea. I remember that was the time control for the World Championships, but I don't think it's the time control here. It could be, though. I could be wrong. They change the time control, like, every single tournament. I can't keep track. Yeah, also the candidates in Toronto is just 2 hours with no additional time or something. That was wild, too. Like, no... Yeah, they just change it. Arbitrarily. Alright, neither player has made a move. Oh my gosh, Levy is gonna be making a video on that rook sack, for sure. Oh, is it? This is all the moves I have. Do you guys see that? Did you guys see that? That was literally Xtam's prediction. Bro. I could be making bank. That was crazy. That was super duper cool. Xtam got it right. That's what I said. I thought King E4 made a lot more, like, human sense than King F4. No, that doesn't exist, Nork. I guess you could use channel points. I could do predictions, but it seems like the moves might be going too fast for us to successfully run predictions. But if it's just 2 moves, sure, why not? Here. If you guys want to give a try at this prediction, which move will Pragg play? There's only 2 options. D takes C4 or D4. 30 seconds. Go, 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 go. Put your channel points where your heart is. Let's see what would Pragg play according to Xtam. Whoa. That was so fast. Alright, maybe we could have ran it longer than that. D takes C4 or D4? 4.9 thousand points on D4, 2.5 on D takes C4. And Xtam says it's gonna be D takes C4. Ho ho ho. In my expert opinion, I think D takes C4 makes a lot more logical sense too. Ain't no way this D4 really makes sense, right? Because, like, you do get another pass pawn, but you also give your opponent a pass pawn. Whereas if you play D takes C4, sure, it's a trade. And then if you go here, this looks maybe a little bit unclear because then there's rook to A3 and then you lose this pawn, but this pawn just pushes. So, like, I feel like there's no way it's not D takes C4. Oh, Pragg is not playing rook F7. I agree. But if he does, I will gift you guys 10 subs. Because that would be crazy if... Once again, all these prediction models are different for each player. Alright, D takes C4. Congratulations. Prediction model in chat. Alright, choose outcome. 34% guessed D takes C4 or predicted D takes C4. You guys get your points. Okay, now is a real question though. Okay, this is an interesting moment actually. I'm gonna start another prediction. What will Pragg play? It's between king to f5 in my opinion or h7. Which I know are the top engine moves, but it also makes the most sense. King... Because you're trying to get out of this check and trying to help your pawn promote. Or you're just trying to promote. You're just trying to promote. So once again, what would Pragg play? Points! Points! Put your points in, guys! King f5 or h7. Go, quick! a5! Ain't no way Pragg's playing a5 here. a5? Heck no. But h7 or rook f7? I like those. King e5, king d5, yeah, all of these. I think ignoring a5, everything else makes a lot of sense. The prediction model likes rook f7 too. Once again, all these prediction models are trained on the player's games itself. So for example, if we went to Fabi, Fabi's first move is probably not going to be a5. Oh, it is. Wow. Interesting, interesting. King f5. King to f5. Wow. King f5 was number 6. Okay. 32% predicted king f5. You guys get your points. Congratulations. King f5, like I said, does make sense. You're trying to assist your pawn in promotion because in endgames, there is one rule. You want to promote. The downside is that, obviously, if you stop, you can't just use a rook and pawn to promote when there's a rook behind the pawn. So you have to use your king, right? So this makes a lot of sense, in my opinion. Yeah, blitz players will have king f5 intuition. I agree. I mean, now Anish Giri has a little bit of decision-making. I mean... I don't even really know if this position is that lost. As far as... Like, in Anish's head, I'm really curious if he thinks he is losing here. Okay, let's take a look at Hikaru's game. We'll come back to that one. Yeah, I think so, Nork. I think they actually also only used like serious classical games, not like Hikaru's bullet brawl matches or something. If anyone can draw this, it's a niche. Yes, that's true. The model also needs to consider that a niche is a niche. Alright, so here we have Fabi! And then if queen to e6, there's king to c5. It would be funny if it just always went wrong because you use bullet brawl. Yeah, no, that's not how this works. Let's do a little prediction. Let's do a prediction. Okay, so which move will Fabi play here? There is I don't think bishop f3 is really that logical, is it? I like queen f8 as an option. I mean, I'm here guessing what two moves Fabi will play. I would play queen f8 or queen e8. I don't think Fabi's gonna play bishop to f3. Maybe he will. You know what? Let's throw it up. Bishop f3, queen e8. Let's try it. I think queen f8 and bishop f3. I can only put two options on the prediction, so let's try this in the XTAM model. We got Fabi. What move will Fabi play? Yeah, bishop f3, you know what, is kind of logical, but like once you get your queen there, the king just goes here. So then what? Queen e6 check was my first intuition too. That's probably not a good sign for Fabi. That's also what I thought. I looked at this position and I was like, I think queen e6 makes the most sense because you're just kicking your opponent's king all the way out into space. But like, sure, bishop f3 and then your queen goes here and then the king goes here and then what? You know, so bishop to e4. Wow. Bishop e4 was not in the engines in XTAM's top 8. I think we can call that a bit of a mistake. The eval bar did not like that either. Alright, we're gonna refund those points because it was neither. Delete. Delete and return points. No, don't say that! Don't say the classic Fabi throw. Yeah, if your opponent's king is super active, you do not want to trade the pieces off, because if your opponent's king is out in the middle of nowhere, you want more pieces to checkmate it, not let it live its best life. No, that was not anywhere on the predictions list. I don't know how that happened, but I mean for Fabi, I don't know how Fabi found bishop e4. Fabi playing not his own predicted moves. But I do think this is an interesting spot. I think this is a very interesting spot. So Pragg or Sindarov. So if you go onto XTAM, which once again, all of you guys should, to check it out, because it's a lot of fun. If you go to the Monte Carlo simulations, it does say that, they like, the probability of each player finishing in each position. So Pragg is very likely to finish 8th somehow, which is crazy to me. And Sindarov is also very likely to finish. I don't really know how this all happened, but basically all of these have different, like for the bottom placements, is what I was trying to say. This is like tournament wins across simulations for their engine that's kind of like playing like them. So yeah, I think my top 3 would be this. I like this one the most. Hikaru, Fabi, and Pragg. I think this is pretty accurate. I agree. I don't think, whoa, what's happening here? Who the heck is Zeno and what do they do? Hope we get 15-year-old Wei style back in this tournament. Yeah, me too. I feel like Wei Yi is one of those prodigies that didn't really get to, like, go all out. So, yeah. Well, there is a model that really agrees with you on that one. There's a model that thinks Esipenko is 37.5% to win. I don't know if I agree with that one, but anyways, that's besides the point. Okay, back to the lab. Back to the lab. Wow, you're giving me a lot of credit, bro. I don't think I could sit through a classical game right now. I am so extremely, like, bouncy. Do I think Gookish will maintain his title? You guys are asking the wrong questions, okay? We're not even, like, we're on day 1 of the candidates. That's the wrong question to ask. It will heavily depend on his form. Like, so heavily depend on his form. Like, he can be world champion on a good day, and then also on a bad day, I feel like anything can happen. Really. Alright, so what happened in this game? What did we miss? We missed D takes C4. Oh, no, we saw this. So, black played rook to king to E7, and white has played rook to B6. Of this tournament, there is 3 weeks of this tournament. This tournament goes on for 3 more weeks, which is crazy. Yeah. Oh, you think so, Pharonix? Those are some big takes over there. Those are some big takes. I don't know if it's 99%, bro. Yeah, white's been way ahead for a little bit, though. White's been way ahead. I've been explaining this to you guys. White has one goal in life right now, and that's to promote this pawn. Because if you make a queen, then yeah. Making a queen is good. That's basically the end of the story. There's no more thought coming out of that. If you make a queen in an endgame, you probably win the game. As long as you don't lose your queen again. So, yeah, this pawn is going for the promotion. And if the rook goes here, if rook goes to h4, well, there's this nifty little trick. If the rook takes, you can take this, and I'm sure Pragg can win this rook-king endgame. So yeah, basically, the purpose, this is a dual purpose move. If the rook goes here, you can cut off this rook from defending against promotion, and then this pawn can just promote. Yeah. Yep. The checkmate is not relevant in this position. Oh, Pragg already won? There we go! A little delay, but Pragg won. Wow, what a bloodbath in the very first day of the candidates. This is exciting. This is not a knockout tournament. This is a double round robin. So aside from Wei Yi basically taking that draw with Matthias, a little handshake, a little 3-move repetition, Anish has lost to Pragg. Javakir beat Esipenko with a brilliancy, actually, sacrificing the rook. 2 rook sacrifices in day 1 of the candidates. Man, Gotham Chess's chess recap review is gonna have millions of views. I'm already seeing the thumbnail. And he sacrifices the rook with a face and 2 rooks next to him. I can already predict Gotham Chess's thumbnail. Yo, Luna! Thank you so much for the raid! Welcome, guys! Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Hope you're doing well. Sending you love. We gotta hang out. Hope the CSGO was going well. We're currently doing some chess. There is a big chess tournament happening right now. This is basically like the Katowice of chess. This is the candidates. We need an X10M motto for Levy's thumbnails. I don't think we do. It's easy to predict. There's gonna be a big face of his. If there's not a big face of his, it's gonna be a big face of Magnus Carlsen. Big drama in the women's candidates, 4 draws. Alright, well that's also good to know. We'll stick around. This is a tournament. Most of the games are already finished today. This is the very last one of the day. Fabi is... They're both American. Fabiano Caruana is Sometimes row number 2, sometimes row number 3, but always consistent. Hikaru, one of the best players in the world, also that streamer. Yeah, this is basically IEM Katowice chess. That's essentially what this is. That's basically what this is. I don't know if CS:GO has like a true world like cup or something like that. Yeah, this is like the Evo of chess. Yeah. Exactly. Hey Caspian, yo, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome guys. Thank you, Caspian. But we've been running little prediction on their moves. They're slowly running out of time. Chess games tend to last a little while. But there's actually, we have a prediction model here on the side as well that is able to tell us what it thinks, what XTAM has like done in their research lab for their next move. So that eval here is what the engine thinks the best move is, and this model over here will tell you, whoa, there's no way this is going to repeat moves, right? No way. Also, for context, this is literally number 1 versus number 2. Like, this is Nakamura versus Fabi. And if you look at the prediction model, you can see that 2 of the predictions had Nakamura most likely to win with runner-up Fabi. Nakamura most likely to win with runner-up Fabi. The third one, don't worry about Esipenko for now. He lost his very first game. It's very unlikely he's going to win. That's a different story. But when you go into the training lab, yeah, there's no way Fabi chokes this, right? No way. No hecking way. Pragg played a masterpiece today. Sindarov played a masterpiece today. The official channels are fumbling. Oh no. I don't even know what's going on. I've just been in my little zone over here. Doing our little watch party. We've been watch partying. So here what you would do, for example, if we were gonna use this prediction model, we're gonna go in here, it's Hikaru's turn, it's black to move. What would Hikaru play? So Hikaru has choices. Let's do a little prediction. What move will Hikaru play? I'll give you guys 30 seconds because the clocks are running a little shorter. King f8 or queen d6. So king f8 hides the king, queen d6 tries to trade off the queen, which makes a lot of sense. If you're ever in danger, you trade off the queens. And also an opposite colored bishop endgame. Endgame in this situation with the queens off the board, imagine the queens are off the board, is always going to be a draw. Like 99% of the time, it's effectively impossible to fuck up. If you fuck up, you're probably not the best chess player. But that's just like a general given rule. Opposite color bishop endgames are like 99% times. Like obviously within certain realms. Like if you are up more than 2 pawns, the side with the extra pawns will probably win. But if only up 1, it's probably a draw. So yeah. Whoa, that prediction went so fast. Did we even get it in? Did anybody get to predict? I don't think so. Oh, we did. King f8 has 760 points. And queen d6 has 4.3. Alright. Magnus enters the chat. No, even Magnus can't win an opposite colored bishop endgame. Yeah, it happens for sure. Look, I'm not Syzygy. Syzygy is the chess table base. It has calculated all possible chess positions in the world of up to 7 pieces. But I'm not Syzygy, so. So in this position, the model, the XTAM model, the X is being cut off from this XTAM model as well as the A file. We need to enlarge this a little bit. It has it has Hikaru playing queen to c5. I've only seen 7. And I looked like 2 weeks ago, so if it's up to 8, bruh. We need to pause with this technological advancement, because 8 pieces on the board of all possible chess positions is like a really large number of possible positions. Okay, so it thinks that Hikaru will play queen c5, and the second move is queen e5, and the third move is queen d6. It thinks that Hikaru will absolutely want to trade off queens, and I agree with the prediction model. Why? Well, I've told you guys about this earlier. In my opinion, if you trade off queens, you cannot lose this position. I don't think it's actually my opinion. I think that is a factual statement. If you trade off the queens, there is no way you can lose this position. So therefore, Hikaru should be trying to trade off queens. Makes sense, right? Hikaru is not playing for a win here. He should be playing for the draw. And he does not do it. He plays bishop to e5. I don't really know what this is about. Maybe there's no, like, perpetual threats or anything. So nobody got any points because he played the third move. Let's see. Was bishop to e5 on the prediction list? It was not. Was bishop to e5 on the engine top choices list? It was not. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. So, people I'm sure are also really curious in this position. How does Fabi win? Why is this +6? Well, this king is extremely exposed. If the king goes to f8, this is, by the way, a checkmate in 3. Because you're threatening checkmate here. So if the queen goes here, this is checkmate. This is why it was so that's why I thought it's so strange he doesn't play one of the queen trade moves. Like, I think bishop e5 might literally be a game-losing move. Chess.com hasn't hit it with the double question mark yet, but bishop e5 loses the plot completely. Like, you're just signing up to be checkmated, literally. So if the queen goes here to protect one checkmate, you checkmate on f7. If the queen protects f7, then you're threatening checkmate on e8. There's nothing that black can do. So obviously the king has to go to d8 because you only have 2 choices in this position. It's f8 or d8. And now you've got queen to g5. The king has to come back. Wait, the engine actually likes f4 here. So f4, bishop goes back, and then this is just like a really tough position. You use your king a little bit. You can try to push these pawns up. It even says it's made in 21. Bruh. That is crazy that the engine can calculate that far ahead. It's because black's in Zugzwang. That's wild. I'm just realizing this now. This is Zugzwang. So Zugzwang is a German word for if you don't have a good... Zugzwang is basically the German word for in this position, you got no good moves, you're gonna lose. Good luck. That's basically what it means. I don't speak any German, but I'm pretty sure if you checked up a dictionary, that's what it would say. So you're fucked, essentially. Because if black moves queen here, okay, you got queen d6, king e8, bishop to g6, and you have to give up the queen, so you can't do that. If you push any pawn, you just lose the bishop, right? The king can't go anywhere, so where else can we play? If queen goes here, it's just checkmate in 1. So the queen has to defend d7, so if the queen goes to b7, then it's just checkmate as well, because this is the exact same idea. This would be checkmate. You have to give up your queen, so now this is losing. There's probably a better move there, but I didn't care. Oh my gosh, he plays f4 straight away, though. This is not as good. No, bro! Bro had to give that check first. Had to give that check to push that king onto the back rank. So then you have all these checkmate ideas. Because f4 first. Now if you played queen e6, the king just goes here. And now there's just queen e7. You don't have checkmate anymore. Because now if you go get this check, you can just go here. And block. And this bishop defends this queen. And then on top of that, he played king g2. Which loses the plot completely. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is wild stuff. This is wild stuff. Bruh. Airbomb, you're coming from a raid. Which raid did you come from? Bruh. Alright. Queen d6 was played. Fabi still has the chance. He just needs to play bishop g6, and this is still a very, very, very crucial position. Because here, and then he just takes this. Oh, no, you can't, because there's perpetual. Okay, well, then I don't know. I got ahead of myself. Okay, let's do a prediction. What move will Fabi play? He has bishop g6 and bishop e4, which I think are the reasonable moves in this position. Thanks, Isaiah. Alright, so we can run this. Let's see what Fabi will play according to Xtam. Oh, I need to log in again. My bad. Ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-bum. Fabi! What move will Fabi play? Chat versus Xtam. Fabi will play queen e4? No! I fear that might actually be a move that Fabi will play. I fear. Oh no! He played king to f3. Do you guys see that? Did you guys see that? King f3 was literally the number 3 choice. Yeah, I fear that this model might know Fabi a little too well. It literally had it in there. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, this game. Oh man. Alright. Delete. Delete and return points. This model knows Fabi a tad bit too well. Come on, Fabi, you got this. Fabi is Chovy. Fabi is Fabiing. No, bro, don't say that. The game is still going. No. Yeah, Magnus is definitely Faker. I saw a hilarious ARAM clip today of Fabi, not Fabi, oh my gosh, of Faker assembling like his entire team to play like ARAMs. They really didn't want us to win some points. Yeah, no, you are not wrong about that. Fabi has had some moments where he hasn't quite been the executioner. So, Hikaru is not threatening Perpetual. Actually, I guess he is with Queen here, huh? Yeah, I think you're right. I think he is. So let's say the Queen makes a random move. There is Queen e3. I don't think this is Perpetual, though. You can go Queen f3. I guess I played Queen f3 to block it. So yeah, I guess he is. So now Fabi has a thought. All of the Queen moves are more or less exactly the same. They serve the same purpose. Where if it goes like Queen to b8, Black's gonna play something like Queen to d8, and then if you go here, then the Queen's just gonna come back and try to do this thing all over again. So you gotta pick where you want to trade. If Queen takes, this is potentially still a winning endgame, opposite winning color bishop endgame. It could happen. No freaking way! Play Queen e4? Alright, well. I was not expecting Queen e4. Alright, he's got a couple choices here. I kind of like this one because D takes e4 means that you get a pass pawn but gives Black a pass pawn, and King takes e4 means you get your king into the center. So I think this is kind of an interesting position. Fabi's doing things. He's figuring out his own way to win this game. It's D takes e4! Alright, unfortunately we gotta refund the points. Sorry. Cancel. D takes e4 was played instantly. So the idea here is that you are able to cut off this dark squared bishop and then win this pawn. And if you win this pawn, you're up 2 pawns in an opposite color bishop endgame, and it might be winning. However, Black can play bishop e7 followed by bishop c5, where it becomes a tall pawn again, which is not pretty, but... Yeah, why force the queen trade when you can offer it? I think the way Fabi has played this game is really interesting. I don't know, man. He went for very safe options when he could have practically checkmated Hikaru, which I think does speak a little bit about his playstyle. But yeah. Okay, this is a fun little moment. It might be a bit too short on time to really run predictions, but we can do one. Let's try it. What move will Hikaru play? Bishop e7 or king to f7, your choice. And then I can put this into my engine, into my model, Xtam model, and run Hikaru. What will Hikaru play, Xtam? This is like our magic 8-ball. I've been shaking this magic 8-ball. Magic 8-ball is probably like, bro. If only the magic 8-ball knew what moves these guys have actually been playing. I think bishop e7 is insanely logical. It thinks it's possible, but he also thinks king f7 or king e8, which is just moves that bring the king out a little bit. So the platform we're using to actually watch the games is chess.com. The platform we're using to run predictions on is Xtam. If you want to check it out, it's also pinned. No reason to resign right now. Absolutely none. Anything can still happen. We know the eval bar, but they don't know the eval bar. Bum, bum. Yo, thank you for the donation on YouTube. Thank you. Also, we mostly respond to chat on Twitch, so you should come over and hang out with us on Twitch. Yeah, that would be crazy. The most aggressive modern Super Grandmaster, I think maybe Wei Yi. I don't know if you count Wei Yi as a Super Grandmaster, but bro's pretty aggressive. Can't believe Fabi missed man in 21. Ugh, joking. I mean, no, you can't resign here, because anything can still happen. Anything can still happen. This bishop endgame is winning because white's pawns are so strong. And they're pushing to make another pass pawn, and white already has one pass pawn, and these pawns are a little disjointed. Black has 3 pawn islands, which is a lot for a single dark squared bishop to defend. No, they're not gonna make a draw, guys. Fabi's gonna win this. Trust me. I designed a whole chess 2.0. Humph. Sadly, the website died. So. 5 minutes, but they get increment. Yeah, I mean, anything could happen, unfortunately. Hey! The increment's 30 seconds. It's, yeah, I did. I actually designed a whole chess 2.0. You missed the glory days of 2023, 2024. Ah. It was, have you heard of bounty tournaments in poker? It was basically a way for you guys to run, for me to run chess games where the game would be basically like, there would be a random piece that if you took it, I would lose the game instantly. It was a one-sided game. It was always a bishop, a knight, or a rook. Or the queen. And it would be complete RNG. I wouldn't know. And the opponent wouldn't know, and it's basically like, yeah, it was very fun. It was very fun. It was, yeah, a little bit of luck based, obviously. Oh, not the queen. Sorry, no queen. No queen. It was just bishop, knight, rook. Yeah, rest in peace. It was built and everything. It was on a website, and yep. Oh yeah, and if you checkmated me, you lost the game. No, well, yeah, that's the whole point. It was really unfair to me. The whole point was that it would be fun for you guys to take on that challenge. But yeah. That was Bounty Chess, so that was my Chess 2.0. Rest in peace, Bounty Chess. Thomas, don't make that joke. Too soon. Maybe one day. Maybe somebody's willing to partner with me to make that. Thanks, CFO. Appreciate it. This is not necessarily desperate. Hikaru is trying to remain active, which means if this, because Hikaru does not, this would be a draw, by the way, because, I mean, yeah. It's hard to explain, but opposite color bishop endgames are harder to play for the side that's defending if you have multiple pawn structures, right? So this makes white have 4 pawn structures. Black only now has 2, and this bishop can easily handle 2 pawn islands. Yeah, anyways. So after... And also this king, you can never kick this king out of e7 because you do not have a dark squared bishop for that. Yep. I do, Nork. Okay, f5. So that's why Fabi cannot lose this f-pawn. Oh. Yeah, so this is not spectacular because if bishop h4, king takes, this pawn will never be able to push. You see how this dark square bishop is extremely geometric and white has no way of making these pawns push up? It's very difficult to win. But yeah, one move is drawing, the other one's not. I mean, okay, I wouldn't even say bishop h4 is a draw. It's just, frickin' how the engine would win. That sounds like a lot of work, bro. You're not even subbed. Valid. I'm doing my best to explain to you the... Oh my gosh. Before I even had a chance to run this prediction, bro played the third move. I have to delete this prediction again. Can one of these grandmasters just play one of the moves I put in my predictions? Please. Okay, let's do this again. Alright. Will Fabi play g5 or c5? So, over here, that's true, cultured. So basically, the reason this position is good for white is, well, Hikaru did literally the opposite of what I said. Remember when I said how this bishop is so good on h4 because it will stop these pawns from ever pushing up? Well, this position doesn't... King to d7 loses the script completely because now you have g5, h takes, and now you can play f6, pawn takes, and then this... Oh, wait, this doesn't work yet because of king e6. The pawn's within the cube. You gotta draw this little... No, it's not within the cube. Oh, there's, oh my gosh, there's c5, bishop takes e5. Oh, that's insane. I did not see that. Okay, so after g takes f5, you have to make this in-between move with king to f5, and then you push this pawn, and then it promotes, because if you try to squeeze your bishop here, the king's now defending it, and you're not in time. There's so much endgaming stuff here. Like, this is some endgame stuff. Yes, they are. Shout out to XTAM. Thank you for providing us with this awesome prediction model. Let's see what we think that Fabi would play in this position. Let's ask XTAM. Shout out to XTAM, guys, if you have not yet checked out XTAM. Oh. 我很好，但我们这里只说英语，谢谢。All right. No Chinese in the chat, please. Today's an English day. They have been playing since 9 a.m., so 5 hours. Oh yeah, XM's interface is freaking sweet. You guys can't access the training lab, but you can access the whole explanations about... whoa! They keep adding things, literally, as I'm streaming. That's sick. That's also really cool. The website's constantly being updated. But we've got, once again, Hikaru Nakamura was the predicted winner. Call him? Yeah, let me just let me just call him. It's free, Nork. It's free to use. It's free to see. You can check out how they ran the prediction models for everything. It is cheap, yeah. You can just go there and check it out. It's just cool. This was a passion project coming out of their research lab for the candidates. XTAM, the company itself, actually does a lot of big picture, sort of like helping teams and big corporations and brands figure out how to streamline using AI into their daily like workflow and stuff. So, yeah. No, well, I've never done a full Chinese stream, but when I'm in China, I spoke a lot of Chinese on stream, so I guess that counts. Not ads. The site is completely just ad-free. They do the thing that I mentioned. They work with much bigger brands than like me, for example, or streamers. They work with big companies to help them develop how to incorporate AI into their like systems. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot. I've done full Chinese stream. I did commentary for a tournament. The very first time I ever did commentary professionally and got paid for it was a full Chinese stream. It was for Chess 24 China. Well, I would imagine they're quite profitable on the other stuff. This candidates model specifically is like a very small thing that the founder is super passionate about and like made because they really love chess. Well, yeah, I was born in China. I'm Chinese. I don't know what to tell you. Yep, I speak Mandarin with my parents. I try to text them in Mandarin and Chinese, but it's rough sometimes. I try to embrace being in a very Chinese time in my life, like everybody else in the world, apparently. I mean, I am Canadian. I'm also Finnish. You can be a lot of things in life. I'm from Hubei, but I would say most people assume I'm from Taiwan when I speak Mandarin. Alright, king to d5. I don't know what this move's about. Wait, explain to me. If we're gonna move our king to the d file, why would we not just take this d pawn? No, I agree with you, Hope Surens. I actually fully agree with you. King takes d4. You know what's really funny, though, is that the prediction model predicted that Fabi would play king d5. I was choosing to ignore king d5 in the hopes that Fabi would not play king d5, but look at how accurate XTAM is. King takes d4, in my opinion, is also the much more logical move, because if you're going to move your king over to the d file, you might as well take the pawn on the way over. But Fabi brings out the number 2 predicted move, king to d5. Stockfish did not see this. I didn't think about this. Chat didn't see it. But guess who saw it? XTAM did. So I think that's really cool. Yeah. He definitely wants to, but I just failed to see how it makes a difference. It's not like black has a lot of moves to make, right? So you have time to take the pawn and then go up, but... Yes, people always know I'm not, like, mainland Chinese when I speak Mandarin. They say it's good, though. They just say it's not, you don't sound mainland. They say I'm Hong Kong, or if I'm, like, from the south, where there's a lot more Canto speakers and non, like, Mandarin native speakers. Because China also has a lot of other languages. Alright, f6! Alright, I know this move was already played, but I want to know if the model could have predicted Fabi's blunder. Ain't no way. That's true, Nork. Do you guys see that? Oh my gosh. Bro. The model has just predicted like 3 different moves for Fabi in a row that are all obviously not good moves. So you can tell this is not Xtam just going off of the top stockfish moves. This is Xtam obviously having run simulations on Fabi's games, taking his information, being like, yeah, Fabi in this position might actually not make the best move. So that is crazy. Look at how bad this move is. If I pulled this all the way down, it's probably not even like top 8 stockfish moves. Stockfish would probably rather play king e4 before playing f6. Just go back. Oh no! But here, well, the model is Fabi. That's why we're asking Fabi moves. But here, Hikaru had to play king c7. Because of e7, the king just comes back. The problem with king to e7 is that Fabi now gets the b pawn. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. So, like, the reason this works is because white's delayed by 1 move, right? And so if the bishop moves or something, now you can just play, like, bishop here, takes, and then you can defend this pawn again with your dark square bishop. Remember when I said a dark square bishop has, a single bishop has difficulty defending multiple pawn islands? Well, you're not trying to actually defend this pawn. If anything, Fabi is using this pawn to block the bishop from defending his own pawn, which is a lot more important, which is this a pawn that promotes on a white square. Fabi doesn't actually care about this d pawn, which is now makes sense why he played king to d5, because he was actually thinking, let Hikaru use his own pawn to block his defense. But I feel like Hikaru could have thought of that. So the reason that king c7 once again is so good is because this is actually a Zugzwang for white, right? Because if you promote, takes, now there's f5, takes, and then you got bishop to d8. You can defend this. Defending this is crucial. This pawn's not going anywhere now. You can block it. Defending the b pawn is what matters. That's what matters for the plot. So yeah, Hikaru missed a draw. Solved, there would be no math. This is actually a really fascinating endgame. I haven't studied endgames in so long because I don't play endgames. I just try to flag people. So there's like some really beautiful geometry here where you clearly see that the main plot of this position is b6. The main plot is the pawn on b6. If you lose the main plot, if you lose b6, well, the story ends. Now the game is extremely straightforward. Fabi will collect this pawn and promote. Well, it's true. I just flag people. I mean, at no point in a bullet game have I ever needed to figure out how to win an opposite color bishop endgame. At no point in the last 3 years of my life was I ever in an endgame being like, huh, so how do I win this? But now, but like, it's cool to see it all coming back. So this is, once again, completely winning for Fabi. This is completely winning. I mean, Hikaru didn't have a lot of time to go through all of that here, so like, there is no longer a way for Hikaru to draw this. Like I said, losing a whole pawn chain is detrimental. No, I was saying if I was in this position with stockfish assistance, I would make a draw. That's what I'm saying. Even then, debatable. Even with stockfish, maybe not. I probably still flag my opponent on bullet. So yeah, now this is gonna be completely winning for Fabi. So Hikaru is gonna try to defend this one, but the problem with defending the A pawn is that this C pawn is now a pass pawn, and the C pawn also promotes on a light square. Maths is mathing. Are you not entertained, chat? Someone on YouTube asked us, am I dressed as Bayonetta in a thumbnail for this? The answer is a yes, because I had no other pictures on hand for a picture with glasses. So I just stuck my Bayonetta cosplay from the other day. No, I can't show the video feed. I don't have rights to their cameras. Xtam is sick. Check it out. It's right there. This all started with King D5. I mean, it was an inaccurate sequence of moves, but it's actually really cool how the prediction model predicted the last couple of moves. Like, it was looking dicey for one move. Wow, and Fabi has won. That was really cool, bro! That was really cool. Damn! I mean, I don't think Hikaru knows how many chances he had to bring it back. Wow! That was super duper sick. Yeah, I can't look at the cameras, unfortunately, but I thought that was really interesting to see how the prediction model accurately predicted a bunch of Fabi's moves, even when Engine was like, nope, do not play that. And then, fabulous. Exactly. Fabulous. But that is fascinating because, as I mentioned, the initial predictions that Xtam ran were for in Nakamura's favor. Nakamura, Hikaru is supposed to win in 2 of the different simulations, the Monte Carlo one and the engine simulation one, and it ended up being Fabi to win the very first game. So I wonder how this is all going to change. But yeah, super cool. All right, we're going to be playing some poker now, and we'll be back at chess in 2.5 hours. We'll be back at chess in F5. Let me just check really quick. Sorry. I think it's 5, yes. 5 p.m. Okay, cool. Yeah, they gotta update their sim, but that's okay. I don't know how much information you really get from one game, but it probably changes the odds a little bit, so we will be going towards the poker! And then we'll be back at chess. We'll have to change these predictions. Alright, can't wait to see the future predictions. Xtam's in the chat. Shout out to Xtam. Heck yeah. It probably does check it out. Do check out their site, Xtam, where you can check out the candidate's prediction model. They will be updating it, so you guys can take another look when they have updated it. Of course. I will be right back. I'm actually going to take a quick break. Thank you so much, Space Herbie, for the gifted sub. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining this little candidates portion. I thought it was really crazy cool how the prediction model really predicted some of... I hate saying Fabi's not so great moves, but it really did. It really predicted some of those moves where it was like the engine just hates it and Fabi loves it, you know? Like the prediction for Fabi was like, yes, Fabi's gonna play this, and then Fabi played it. Thought that was sick. So yeah, a lot of decisive games from today, actually. Fabi won, Pragg won, and Javakir won, so interesting stuff. Alright, I shall BRB. Thank you. Thank you, Xtam, for being in the chat too. Appreciate it. I gotta run to the bathroom, and then I'll be back. And then we'll be back for some poker as well. Thank you so much. Okay. BRB!
Yeah, like follow all your passions, like your life, like
your life's too short to not do it. Really.
Yeah, you never know like, what's gonna work. Like maybe you'll pursue something that you've been like, oh, I don't really want to do this, and like that's like what your career. Like you meet someone through that, and like you make a business, and you have financial freedom. Like there's just so much, like so many doors that open up when you open yourself up to new things. Yeah.
Hear that, chat? We gotta clip that. Clip that. We're gonna post it. This is gonna be like one of those motivational, like, yeah.
Like the only way for you to like open yourself up to like things is to go outside. Like I like struggle with like depression and stuff like a lot, and like When you're depressed,
Oh,
you
man.
just want to stay inside all day and like do
It's
nothing.
true. Once you're like stuck in the cycle, it's so hard to break out of it.
Yeah.
Which is why don't get stuck in the cycle in the first place and live a healthier life.
Yeah, I mean, it's harder. It's like, it's so easier said than done. Like,
For sure.
just don't be depressed. Like,
He doesn't have that fast reflexes. He's a little slow. He's so okay with everything right now. Oh my god! My condolences. I don't really know what you want me to say. Unfortunate. I'll just like spin a wheel of appropriate reactions and somebody can tell me if it's correct or wrong. I do not care. But anyways, we are going to be going over your games. So once again, if you would like to. So pretty. Yes. Yeah, I love the knee up. Yo! Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Heck yeah. There's only 1,000,001 different clips, which is really cool. Watch party from the candidates! We just wrapped up our watch party from the candidates, too. Thank you so much. That was really cool games. So. Who here still thinks Nakamura can win the candidates? I feel like he still has a chance. It's tough to start out your very first one with a loss, but I feel like something similar happened last candidates or something, no? Maybe not a loss. Maybe it was just... Alright, we got the Hikaru fans in the chat. I love it. Is winning important? Yes, maybe. Perhaps. Alright, this one will hurt Hikaru a little bit, for sure. Okay, we're gonna be swapping over to poker, so if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you're coming over to Twitch. And we're gonna be playing some tournaments, and there will also be some wheel spin options. And chess will resume at 5 p.m. And if you're curious about the predictions, once again, check out XDAM. Alright, goodbye, YouTube. Alright. Does prizes still work? We'll see you later, YouTube. Come back for